Come on now. Y'all already knew what this was about to be. Yeah, boy. Look, welcome to the official first episode of the Xclusive Knights Podcast. Hey, first things first. God did this. So don't get mad at us. Hey, I'm your host, Eric Knight. We got my man, Mr. Exclusive, and we got my man, the Heartbreak Prince. Man, look, we've been doing this for a long time, and y'all don't have no idea what y'all about to get yourselves into, okay? Let me tell you something. Look, hey, first things first. Let's see who really knows their wrestling. Now, biggest thing, let's get into it. There's only been two men that have held the WWE and the IWGP Intercontinental Belt. Who are those two men?
It's gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good one, Heartbreak Prince. Yeah, you know, I know we're not doing it now, but I'm gonna have the mind calculating. So when we get to the end of the episode, about to give them the business. I'm gonna be ready for it. I'm not gonna cheat. I promise y'all. I got a tablet right here, but I promise you I ain't cheating. I promise there won't be no cheating here. I promise.
Well, look, let that seep in your minds. Remember it. Write it down. Because look, we're gonna have that answer at the end of the show. First things first, let's get into Smackdown. First things first, we talking about SmackDown. This is the thing we really need to ask. Does SmackDown really need right now? Everybody's been talking about it. I mean, come on, look at this. Not everybody's too happy about the bloodline. I mean, look, you see my man Cody over here looking like he's crucified. we got Jacob Fatu. I mean, he's been going crazy right now. And Solo, I mean, look, this is the thing with Solo. Everybody's been saying it. They've been wanting it. They've been asking for it. You get it. Now people are upset about it. We got the look, let me tell you something. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa has been going insane. And of course, everybody's saying Tonga Loa right now is probably one of the most unserious people we have seen on TV for multiple reasons. I mean, the man has botched a low blow. The man got hit in the eye. Now he's out here with an eye patch. This looks crazy. And some people are saying, well, this is like a low budget bloodline. But in my opinion, I think we got to look at it like this might be something that's forming up. Some people also think maybe they're doing this week by week because they just want to see Roman come back. They're all saying that, you know, if we see Roman Reigns come back, it would be insane. At this point, he's no longer a heel. He would be considered a face because everybody's been asking for it. The crowd is going crazy. I mean, we've been talking about this. We've been saying, like, we can't believe to see that, you know, the crowd has been just so hype and happy to see Roman coming back. So that's a big thing right now. Mr. Exclusive, what you think about this?
Man, look, I know I'm kind of on the same train you are right now, my friend. People are looking at it like, oh man, they need Roman. But this is once again, you know me, I'm all about long-term storytelling, and this is at its finest right now. See, Roman has been away since WrestleMania, and we've thought about him. We miss him. You know, we miss the arrogance, we miss the swag, you know. But what they've done here, because initially it started off a little rocky. I'm like, well, how are they going to make this happen? Solo doesn't seem like he kind of got his grasp on it just yet. They were still trying to figure out how they want to do it. They start introducing the new members of the bloodline, you know, and then as it just continues each week, it got a little better. They start doing the vignettes where, you know, he's out there and everybody's standing behind him, and he's delivering on those vignettes. And I think it was smart on their part because they didn't have the crowd. They let him on screen and let him kind of build that way. I loved when they were doing those. And to be honest with you, it's not, you know, I guess he was like your grandpa's bloodline, even though we're not that much older. It's not your grandpa's bloodline. You know, this bloodline is a little bit of the younger school, you know, those guys out there doing their thing. and it's a different feel. The mafia boss suits. I mean, Jacob's unhinged at all times. I'm
Crazy.
loving it. I'm loving it. And what I think about it is, I think that they're in the right direction. And right now, I'm still watching SmackDown despite Roman not being there. And am I okay with? I want him back, but I'm okay with him not being there right now. They're still delivering on it, and obviously, down the road, that big part is going to kick in. But I like what I'm seeing so far.
Oh, what you think, man? What's your thoughts?
So I'm going to agree with Mr. Exclusive because we've had this discussion before, and we've talked about it. And if the angle that I believe that they are going to take it is into like this whole Civil War type of thing, then I'm down for letting them continue to write this narrative, to let this story play out for this Roman Reigns return, because I feel like that's going to be your moneymaker. Trying to see how this current faction that used to be run by the head of the table, Roman Reigns, level up, stands now when Roman returns, and the confrontation between him and Solo to kind of take back, to try to either take back what was his, or to kind of maybe start something anew, maybe bring back the Uso brothers, get them back together. I mean, I don't know exactly where the story will go, but I'm here for it, and I want to see, just kind of. I also want to see if Solo can really grow in this role, to even make it even worth while or worth our time. But I guess that's the beauty of everything that's going on right now, is the fact that we have this whole new faction trying to kind of find its way under Solo's leadership, and everybody's wondering, when will Roman Reigns return, and when he returns, what is it going to be like? Because we've already seen what they did to the wise man, and I know if I'm Roman Reigns,
hurt
already, you got to strike against you.
They killed him.
Yeah,
they hurt him.
It's gonna be interesting.
I want to kind of piggyback off of one other thing here. So when you go back and look at it, I can't remember, sometime last year, but remember when Roman was like he was about to name who's going to be the next tribal chief when he decides to walk away. Yeah. And Jimmy was over there just like, yeah, it's about to be me. Shout, it's me. And he was like, no. And he moved over and he hugged Solo.
Yeah.
And right there, we kind of maybe, but we didn't really true. But once again, they planted that seed. Yeah. And we didn't even realize they were planting that seed.
Yeah.
And when he first got there, everybody thought, Solo is gonna, like, man, he might be the guy that really takes that next step. He was like kind of the guy everybody was excited to see when he first joined it.
Yeah.
It's happening now, low key too. Now, but with Jacob's getting that, man, he better than Solo. He better. Mm-hmm. He's a better wrestler. He's a this and that. But that's something that down the line that we could see another branch out. Yeah. If they really want to make this a craziness, it's a possibility.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I'm here for it. It's just my biggest thing with it. If I am going to complain about anything right now, is that I feel like they are running a little too long with this and Cody. I feel like for Solo to have his takeover, I feel like they almost had to kind of work their way back up to that. And just to give him the opportunity to kind of, one, show his dominance, two, kind of really give the faction to time to really gel and kind of figure out what exactly they want to be. Like, I like I said, the little vignettes were great. I noticed that they changed how they do the one and all of that kind of stuff. But I feel like it's been with Cody for way too long. And I just don't think Solo's already at the level where he should be competing with Cody. I'm sorry. So that's my only gripe. But I also understand that, it's kind of continuing the story that's been going on for a while between Cody and the faction. So
yeah, I think that's the biggest thing right now. I think a lot of people are kind of like just wondering, like, what's the next thing for Cody? I think especially right now, it's like some of his title reigns haven't been the biggest or the best. They haven't been, he hasn't had any real like interesting feuds. Again, like, I mean, we've talked about it before. Like he's definitely faced a lot of veterans. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about AJ Styles. We can talk about, but it's like you're not getting anything off of real. Like it's almost like one of those things where you're not feeling that story all the way. You're not feeling 100% invested like you was when he was on the chase. When he was on the chase, everybody was like, "Yo, we want to see Cody finish the story." Now you finish the story. What's next? What's next? And it's kind of like we're getting the same bloodline. This whole situation. I get it. He's already had, and the thing with Cody too is like he's already had like a real long storyline with the bloodline for almost 3 years now. So it's like I see why they're still kind of keeping him there, but I think the problem is like how many times we gonna keep putting this man through the table? How many times we gonna keep jumping off the top rope and just say, "Yeah, we put Cody through a table again this week"?
Yeah,
we got to change that.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of high hopes. Of course, we know SummerSlam's right around the corner. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't see him winning. So I don't see Solo winning the title at all.
Right.
No, not at all.
No.
But be something that might project him on a higher level. So we'll have to wait and see. But speaking of putting somebody on a projecting a higher level, I mean the main thing. Talk about it. The man, the myth, the legend himself. You know what? You think LA Knight gonna get this U.S. title? Man, I'm gonna tell you right now, this man is overdue. He is beyond overdue to get this United States title. I'm not gonna lie, Logan Paul's been doing great. I think his in-ring work has been superb, phenomenal. I mean, I could throw a bunch of words in. I mean, for somebody that's even starting and upcoming, and you're pulling these damn near 5-star matches, is saying a lot. For somebody that's not even in the ring. But when you talking about somebody like that guy, LA Knight, you talking about somebody like that, somebody that's been grinding, somebody I've seen him since 2018. And some people, it's kind of almost, I'm not even gonna say sickening. It's not upsetting, but it's kind of crazy how people just now, or even from last year, just kind of seeing what he's been doing. Because let me just say this: if you don't know about LA Knight, before he was LA Knight, he was Eli Drake. When he was Eli Drake, he was killing it on Impact, hitting with the Eli Drake. He was doing that for years. He was hitting them with the dummy. Yeah, he was telling y'all what it was. I said, man, come on. When he was on NWA around 2020, 2019, man was drinking the champagne, talking about he got shoes of a champion, jacket, shoes of a champion. I ain't never seen nobody actually intoxicated, still killing a promo. Let's talk about Ric Flair. But that's a whole nother story. Okay, but in a whole way, look at it. LA Knight's got it. He's got the look. He's got the moves. He has got everything in the package. Pause. So we really got to look at it like we got to look at it like, yo, if we don't get this man in title, we missing something. And that's the biggest thing. It's one of those. Please, Triple H, give him the title so we do not have to put this on our list for one of our biggest missed opportunities. Let's please not miss this opportunity for him. We know we couldn't get that WWE title. We know we knew he couldn't get that. Not off of Roman Reigns, it was too early. But if you give him this United States title, this is definitely going to give him that trajectory that he needs to get him to that next level. What do you guys think? Elwood, I'll let you go first.
For me, fellas, it's quite simple. I expect a match when you're talking about LA Knight and you're talking about Logan Paul. I expect a match that is going to be A1. But at the end of the night, I feel like this match cannot go any other way than having everybody in the audience say LA Knight. Yeah. It's simple. It's time to get the belt back on television. You put it on LA Knight, and he is going to carry the belt well. He's got, the crowd, the fans behind him. We've all been wanting it for a while for him to actually have a title. And so, I mean, it's just time to pay for his payoff for the work that he's put in. And there's nothing against Logan Paul. I for whatever it's worth, and whatever you think about Logan Paul, I do have to give him his credit and admire his in-ring work as far as him being able to step into a business like wrestling and just be able to perform and put on some of the best matches with some elite talent and really not be a step behind. So, you know, I'm expecting nothing but a great match, but LA Knight, yeah.
Gotta get
Yeah.
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 Mr. Exclusive, what you think, man? What you think, man?
Look, man, it's an exclusive thing going on here. Look, here's my thing. You know, I've been a big fan of him. You know, I know people get mad and he's a Rock, he's Stone Cold, all that stuff. Look, take that out of the equation. He's his own version of himself. You know what I'm saying? Yes, there's some similarities. The man obviously, you know, admired these guys, but if that's the case, we're gonna look at Dolph Ziggler or Nick Nemeth and say, well, that's Shawn Michaels reincarnated in some aspects. Each of these wrestlers grew up in, you know, enjoying a wrestler or enjoying a wrestler's style. You know, heck, Jay Lethal did a whole, you know, he mocked or he was doing everybody at one point and did it well. You know what I'm saying? Boy. The Black Machismo, shout out to Black Machismo.
Yeah, shout out.
But that's my thing. It is time for him to get this title. It's time for him to be the champion. They've done a really good job of building up to this point. You know, some wrestlers are not able to, once they win that title, will they be able to, you know, keep it going? We talked about that with Cody Rhodes. It's like, it seems like that title reign so far has been a little stale because they haven't been able to really, in your mind, the people that he's facing, you're like, okay, they're in your mind, you already know they're not winning the match unless they decide to pull a fast one or he's injured or something. You know, they're not winning the match. I feel like, you know, a good wrestler, a good situation like that, he's like, oh man, there's a chance he could lose it. But there's a good chance he could win it, and it still kind of, you know, be hanging on a little bit on the grass, you know, just kind of waiting for it. If he wins this title, he's gonna bring that factor to it. Like, you could see him losing, but you know he's not gonna lose in some crazy way. But if he does lose it, it gives you that intensity. Like, man, every match that he's in is like, oh, they're gonna take it from him. Oh man, they're gonna take it from him. And I think I know it sounds like a weird element, but you kind of, in some ways, you have to have that for a champion in some ways to kind of give you that, you know, as a fan, you want that. You don't want to go into a match, oh, he going to win this match. And he got this. You know, like that's not fun as a wrestling fan. And we get into it a lot. But you also hope that, you know, maybe sometimes they can tell a story and it extends longer, whatever. But for me, I think it's time, man. Like, he has done so much. The fan, he's over. And another one, and I know we're not talking about him right now, but Jey Uso, like those guys that are like killing it on the mid-card level, you got to give them at some point, give them that singles title run to see what they could do, man. And so I think it's time. Man. Like, so.
And I think, and another thing, I'm going to piggyback off of that, just what you're saying. Like, I think also, too, you give him that title, you got a lot of opponents. You can really like bring some heels out because you know LA Knight's a great face. You can still, I mean, I hate to say it, but even if they wanted to, he can pull out that heel if he wanted to, too.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Like, you know, I've told you guys about it, his dummy, in 2018 on Impact. You know what I'm saying? He's done that. So it's like, you know, I think if they have him as that champion, he'll definitely have a lot. And I think that'll make SmackDown a lot more interesting. You give him that title, now you got other people that can compete. You got people that, you know, you can put up against LA Knight. On the mic, now you might not catch some people that's as good as LA Knight because that man kills them on the mic. But you might have somebody that could be developing or might get better because of him. So that's a big thing too.
Yeah,
hey, look,
like a scene on Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Exactly.
But you know, Eric, they're already setting up potential U.S. title contenders down the road as we speak. Andrade, Carmelo, Santos Escobar, like they have low key started that little rift between, like they're trying to find those core. That's what I love about Triple H. He's finding those core 5 or 6 mid card people that can kind of run with things for the next year. That's the way you got to do it. And I think they're doing it perfectly. So after he wins, we already know Escobar is gonna be the first one. Whatever he's gonna be the first one coming after him. So when he does, you know, Elito, somebody's coming after him. So
somebody. Or it might be. It might be. Because you know we got to think about it. Him and LA Knight been beefing. I'm not gonna lie. I love Melo, but.
Actually, I think that's probably a perfect person to start with, honestly, because him, he just kind of got moved up, and
Right.
so you don't really expect him to try to to get the belt right now and start running with it. He's still kind of feeling his way through being on the main roster and all that kind of stuff, but can deliver some good matches. So I think that's a good start. I do want to see El Idolo get something eventually, but we can't look past him. So
he's got Charlotte Flair. That's good enough, right?
Oh, hey, we will not.
Flair.
Yeah, we will not.
Hey, Charlotte was working out in the ring. That I saw some video today of her working out in the ring. It's
That's
almost
my love
that time.
right there.
Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble time.
We gonna put some spec on that name.
Just a little spec. Just a little spec.
Just a little
Just a little bit.
A little spec.
Yes.
Well, shoot, we had a great talk about SmackDown. Let's go ahead and talk about that AEW. Well, I can't lie, man. These last couple of weeks, maybe the last couple of months, I will definitely say AEW has been on fire. We can talk about Dynasty. We can talk about Forbidden Door. We can talk about everything that's been going on. But honestly, we can really talk about what's been getting timeless. Yeah, timeless Tony Storm. What y'all think? Do you think, this might be the time where timeless Tony Storm might be in danger of losing it all. Now, we've talked about this before already with Mariah May. We said there's a possibility she could be a possible contender. We wasn't really 100% sure because we already seen what was going on with Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné. So we said, well, who's an actual good opponent for Toni Storm? Because she hasn't had an actual genuine scare. And this now, I will 100% say I can confidently feel that I think Mariah May, they have painted the picture. They have created a perfect picture for Mariah May to be the perfect heel for timeless Toni Storm, which we obviously know is a huge face. It don't matter what she does, the fans love her. I mean, who could argue? Shorty's out here just making gold. All the time. It doesn't matter if it's the media scrum, if she's doing a vignette, if she's doing a promo. Timeless Toni Storm is doing a lot of great stuff, a lot of greatness. Cooking up 100%. I think right now what they got with her is good. And I think this is real solid. We've talked about possibly, with the storylines not being too good, not being long-term. But if they do this the right way, this could be a possible perfect storytelling match and a storyline that could actually go on for not just now, but for a couple of months. Mr. Exclusive, what do you think? What's your thoughts on this?
Well, she's a part of my squad, but that's another time for another day. Look, here's the thing, man. Like with her, I want to see her. I feel like they can really do something big with this because if they decide to take the title away from Toni, she's already over with the fans, and if she's gonna make the play to try to, fight her way back to get and claim what's hers, they could really work that. But to me, the real question is, if you take the title off Toni, how long do you keep it off of her, or does she move down? I don't think you can. So I think Mariah May could do some really good things, but it could set up a long-term thing with the two of them instead of it just being maybe a one and off type of thing. I feel like if they do go the way Mariah May and she wins the title, I think they really could work it maybe for even up into the next pay-per-view and the next big AEW pay-per-view. So I'm excited about it. I'm not gonna lie to you. It kind of broke my heart a little bit when she took the shoe and said, and just I was like, oh, my girl is bleeding profusely. So I could just she's been broken in half. That's all I can hear. JR and shout out to JR. I heard he's going in the hospital. So Much love to JR, man. Much love to JR, man. That's our childhood right there. But what I'm saying is, I go back and look at this, and it's been a masterpiece. She's been great, and we had talked about this kind of, as we get ready for our first podcast, and we were talking about it, and then one of the things I brought up was like, man, that could be the turn, and I'm like, there it is. But the one thing that I kind of want to see from it is I wanted to kind of go a little bit longer. Don't let this be it, and then they kind of push it. If you're going to make it go on for at least another, I think they can make it go on for another 3 months if done properly. Maybe longer, but I think if you go past maybe 2 to 3 months, it gets a little stale. So you got to kind of, make that happen. Shout out to Tony Schiavone. And
man was so Tony, upset. He came out of character, boy.
Yeah. And the best part about it was my man Taz. Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
He was so offended. He was so offended. Just speak. I was I said, Tony. I love Tony Schiavone, man. Look, 757 in the building. You know what I'm saying? He a VA guy. So shout out to Tony Schiavone. I thought it was funny. But I want to see that go on for at least the next couple of months. We'll see how it goes, though.
Cool, man. Hey, Elwood, what you think, man?
Hey, again, I hate to do it, but I have to agree. I mean, we kind of, like I said, we've talked about this before, and one of the biggest things that we feel that we wanted to see as far as improvement with AEW is using the talent, especially in the women's division, to kind of just to kind of make it interesting, to make the women's division interesting. And we think that they are, striking gold with, DMD and Mercedes Moné, but then now you got this with Toni Storm and May. And I really like it. I feel like now you got two matches between these 4 women that can really, really go a long way to kind of like raising up the level of competition, and the interest in the women's division. And I think it started like Dee was just saying a couple weeks ago with the turn, with the whole way the show ended with Toni Storm brutally beaten and bleeding, and I thought this is really good. I hope that Tony Khan, his team, whoever that are putting this together, do just like Mr. Exclusive just talked about and make a good little run out of this. Don't have this go on for just a match or whatever, and then the story's kind of swept under the rug. You can really drag this out. You can really make something out of this. You can really tell a good story out of this. And at the end of the day, I think the goal at the end of this rainbow is the fact that you're going between Toni Storm, May, or DMD and Mercedes Moné. Somebody is going to rise to really make another match between the 4 of them, whether it be Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné going for both belts, or whether it be DMD and Toni Storm or whoever. But I think this really has an opportunity to really raise the women's division in AEW because they have talent. They really do have talent. It's just I don't know what's missing, and I think this is a good chance to kind of press that reset button and really just kind of make this work.
Yeah, I agree. I think the biggest thing that you guys, or the take that I took from both of you guys, is can we take this storyline and make this goal within 2 to 3 months?
Yes.
And it's one of those things to where I'm not going to say they have to, but they kind of have to. Because you built up all this time with Mariah May. You had this whole shtick, this whole situation with all of them. It was Mariah May, Toni Storm, and I don't know why I can't think of the third guy that's with them. It's not clicking in my head right now. Luther, there we go.
Yeah,
and it's like you have this group that is just like, wow, when you see them, it's like that's a package. Now the package is gone. So now it's like you just got Tony and you just got Mariah May doing their own things. But now it's like, since you did this, now you have to make this a 2 to 3 month storyline, because you put all that work in to get them together. Now let's put something together why they're apart.
Mm.
So I think they can come up with some gold. But speaking of gold, I mean, speaking of gold, I mean, who else better to think about than the one and only himself, good old MJF.
The man is better than all of us.
This man said, new title, same MJF. You know, I can't lie. This is probably the second title this man has won and single-handedly just made his own title. I mean, the first time when he got the AEW title, what did he do? He made that whole thing Burberry. That was tough. The belt was Burberry. I mean, now all of a sudden we're going from from this title to a new. He called it the American title now.
Mm.
I can't lie, man. We got to look at it from what MJF does. The man puts out gold. Now, I'm not saying that. People could say I'm saying this being biased because he's from Long Island like me. Yes. We could definitely say that. Because
a little biased.
I know y'all remember when we first seen Double or Nothing. MJF came out, debut. What I do? I stood up and I gave this man a standing ovation. Because I said something about this guy. He's got it. And then when I found out he was from Long Island, I said, oh, no wonder why this guy's great. I get it.
It's in his blood, man. It's in his blood.
I can't. But I mean, just even how he won this title already was gold. I mean, you're doing almost a 60-minute match with Will Ospreay. Probably, I mean, if we're talking about it, Will Ospreay is probably top 3, top 2, top 1 best wrestlers in this day and age.
One of one.
There's only very few that can do what he does, and it's not many. It's probably just him if he's looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to fight? Like, wait a minute.
Preach, E. Preach.
Look, let me tell you something. Will Ospreay, everything about that man is gold, and MJF is gold. So to put these two in a match like this on Dynamite, and your first 30 minutes was commercial free, and then all of a sudden you have MJF win. I mean, a classic with the ring. You're gonna finish it up. That's classic heel. That's classic heel stuff right there. Get that W, you just fall on it. What? 59 seconds and what was it? 59 minutes and 58 seconds. You were 2 seconds shy from the match being completely off and being just a draw. Nah, that's gold. That match that they put on, that's a classic. That's a match somebody can go 10 to 15 years from now and say, yo, put that MJF versus Will Ospreay match on, man. That's a classic. That's one of those. And that's what MJF does. I'd be lying to say every time when this man doesn't get in the ring or on the mic or has a storyline, he's not killing it. You cannot say this about this man. You can't say MJF ain't one of the best ones out. He is. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with him and Will Ospreay. I hope to God they take this storyline and they really make this a long one. Because you can't put on that classic and then just throw this away. This is a storyline you have to keep going. And even if you pump the brakes for a little bit, you slow down. Okay, maybe they go and do their own thing for a while, but bring that rivalry right back. Because if we know we're going to get a classic, I mean, and to be honest, MJF has been stepping it up in the ring. And I will say that ever since I've seen him get in that ring with Adam Cole, oh yeah, you get in there with him, you better be one of the best ones. Okay, I'm not even gonna go crazy into Adam Cole because I really could too. Because y'all know how I feel about that guy.
We know, baby.
Okay, you get in that match with him, you gotta do gold. So I think for MJF to get in there with Will Ospreay and do the same thing says a lot. He's proving that he is one of the best wrestlers right now in the world. Elwood, my man, Heartbreak Prince, what you got, man? Let's hear some.
I mean, I think you said it. You said it all. I mean, MJF, when I first, was introduced to him, I wasn't the biggest fan. I'm just going to be honest. But over time, I have definitely grown to appreciate him, to respect him. His ability on the mic, I thought initially kind of outweighed his ability in the ring. But he has really turned it up a notch, both in the ring, still as good as ever on the mic. And now you pairing him with my boy, my favorite wrestler, Will Ospreay, and then they're putting on, matches of this caliber, go like this, I feel like you have to continue to run with it. And I think it's going to go a long way for AEW. And so AEW is cooking right now, and I want to continue to let them cook.
Cook. Next exclusive, what you got, man?
Yeah, look, they are cooking. And I'm not 100% sure how much he has to do with it, but if it is, shout out to Christopher Daniels, because you can definitely tell that there's somebody behind the scenes that's changing things up a little bit, and maybe telling Tony to hold off just a little bit, because you can definitely tell by the storylines are a little bit better. And if anybody knows how to go through a good storyline, Christopher Daniels, who's been one of the let's be honest, one of the best wrestlers, maybe underrated wrestlers of our time. He's been really good for a long time, and now he's behind the scenes at AEW, and I think they needed that. They needed people behind the scenes that can help grow this thing. Now, another thing that I don't like that they've been doing, or at least I would say I'm kind of glad that Ospreay lost the title, because you got too many of your top tier stars with mid-level titles. I mean, he doesn't need that title. And as much as I love Orange Cassidy, that's an Orange Cassidy title. Okada, he doesn't need to have that title. That's not the level of wrestler he is. And I understand they're doing it for faction purposes, but you with those guys, I mean, yes, maybe you're elevating the title. It could be that they could be elevating the title, so when they do lose it to somebody else of lesser or whatever, or somebody who's up and coming, but I feel like that's the way. That's one thing that they needed to do. They got to break that up. Even with old Mercedes Moné. I mean, she's gonna probably bring a little prestige for a while. They'll have some good matches, but at some point, somebody up and coming needs to take that title. She needs to be focused on bigger and better things, and that's kind of what I think. Where Ospreay, it's nice for him to have the title.
That's a really
what I'm saying,
take.
but he needs to be up there, And nothing against MJF, he'll keep this going for a while, but he's also another person that needs to be in that big title picture. They've got a lot of belts, and they're trying to make sure that they're keeping certain people happy. I don't know what they're doing in there, but it was a great match. MJF he's masterpiece. You got to love everything that he's doing in the ring. Everything he's doing on the mic. The best thing I saw from all of this was when the little girl, said, "You know what? Get some hits in." Ospreay lets her get a couple hits in. MJF. He could have just let it go. Oh no, he gave this girl the business on a podcast. And I was like, dang, man, like he was giving this little girl the business. I said, and that's what I love about MJF. Like I don't care that you're a 7-year-old little girl. You hit me. This is abuse. Like he sold it. And it's hard to find wrestlers that can sell it that way. He's special, man. So the new title, same MJF. That's the best thing that you can ask for that.
That's it, man. Look, I think people got to understand too, man. It's like when I'm seeing MJF now, right? I can see him being like a Triple H 20 years from now. I can see that. I can see it because that's definitely a guy that you can tell. I mean, even from when he returned, he loves Triple H. Like he embodies that. And I think you can tell he's a real pro wrestling like fan first. He wants to know how he can be the best way he can sell, the best way he can, cut a promo. It doesn't matter. It's you can tell the hunger. You can tell the just the sponge that he is, just kind of absorbing as much knowledge as he can, and just bringing it in the ring, putting on the mic, and just doing just what he does best, and just being him. So, I'm that's MJF. What can I say?
Yeah.
But we talked about AEW for a good little minute. Let's go get into this NXT.
Ooh.
We've been talking about NXT. What can I say? I mean, we talked about so much. I can tell we can talk about how Sean's just been cooking up so much. Just give him the chef's hat. I don't know how many times we got to talk about this. Give him the chef's hat, and we can go ahead and get that same hat that he was when he was in the kitchen with Triple H before he super kicked that little girl. They need to get that hat back to him. Okay? Get him that hat. Okay. because he knows he's cooking up. But look, I will say this. I think right now, NXT's got a lot. Right now, from what we've been seeing, real big is Lash Legend and Miss Jackson going for the tag team title gold. Now we've already seen it. We know, unfortunately, they lost tonight. But you know what? It's one of those things where we have to look at it. There's so much potential in both of them right now, especially with Lash. I mean, Lash, not too long ago, what was it? Last month was in the NXT North American Women's Ladder match. Of course, now she lost that, but I think they're kind of trying to show a little bit more for Lash, and I think they kind of knew. I'm not gonna say they didn't miss the mark, because I think with Kalani Jordan getting this NXT North American champion, I think she's doing something right now. But I know right now with her having that title, people weren't too happy. People wanted to see Lash do what she had to do. And to be honest, like even when we seen Lash on NXT, she did amazing. I mean, she has what I was saying before. She has like almost like the big man kind of move set, but it's the big girl move set. You know, she ain't hefty.
Hey, we got you. We got
and
you.
She can go ahead, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? She can
I knew
choke
you
slam
going
a
with
dude or two. I mean, who knows? She might even choke slam Trick Willie. We know this. We don't know this for
sure. Let's talk about it.
Trick Willie Wonka, baby.
Trick Willie Wonka.
But she's a serious powerhouse. And I think even for Miss Jackson, Jakara Jackson, I think she has such a great heelish kind of like the way she talks, the tone, the look. She's got a very heelish way to her. Some people feel like they might be they might be a little undervalued. I don't agree with that. I think personally, you're always catching them on TV. And I think as a wrestler, one of the big things for them is always that TV time. I could almost say Tiffy time, but that's not that kind of time that we on right now. But it's the biggest thing is that TV time. And then when you look at it, Lash and Jakara are constantly on every week. Now, would we love to see them with a title? Yes. Would I like to see them with the NXT tag team titles? Yes. Are they a thing anymore? No. Should they have kept them? Yes. Why? Because there's so many women tag teams that you have, and now it's like you got this one tag team championship belt, and you're trying to pass it around through the brands like y'all did the first time when you brought them around. No, this is dumb. Let's bring back these NXT tag titles, because there are a lot of tag teams you could build off of this and do something. Now, I don't know why they got rid of this, but if I'm not mistaken, when I went on WWE Network, went on the website, I'm pretty sure they discontinued them like last year, if not 2 years ago, which I don't like the fact that they did that, because when you take that off, now it's just, what do we have left? There's nothing. There's nothing. Now, but we have the NXT North America. Yes, for the single women. What about these tag teams? We need to get them active. We need them active. And honestly, if you want to talk about tag teams, that's the first one that need a title. Because I think for them as a heel, they can take that and elevate that and make that something really good. But we just have to wait and see. Mr. Xclusive, what do you think?
Here's the thing. Everybody knows that, that 6 women title match. We've talked about it on multiple occasions ourselves. A lot of people thought it was going to be everybody in that match except Kalani Jordan was probably everybody's. It was everybody's choice. I mean, everybody went outside of that. But like I've said on multiple occasions, I thought this was the best way to go about it, because now all of those angry fans that thought that their person should be the champion now hoping that happens at some point and some time, while elevating Kalani at the same time. So I think that part of it is great. Lash has been killing it. You made a good point, Eric. She's been on TV a lot. A lot of people say maybe they're not using her right, whatever. No, she's been used just right. Because sometimes everybody can't have a title. Yeah. It's all about building that profile, of that wrestler and helping them develop. People forget this is a developmental brand. Yes, it's a very good developmental brand, but it is also a developmental brand, and they're trying to get these wrestlers to that next stage, to Raw, to SmackDown. That is the ultimate goal. I mean, as much as those people love NXT, I bet you $1,000 if you say, "Hey, I'm sending you on Raw or SmackDown the next day," they're running to it.
Yeah.
But it's the development. It's the development, and I think Shawn Michaels, as much as we love Shawn, my number 2 guy all time, but that's for another story, another day. He's done a really good job with the women's division. The WWE's the women's division long term is set. He has built a foundation that they can slowly bring people up to that main roster if they ever decide to get those mid-level titles that we're all hoping that they need to get, because there's too much talent up there now that doesn't have multiple storylines to go after. But what they've done there is amazing. And Lash Legend and Miss Jackson are just examples of what they've been able to do on NXT. And to be honest with you, I don't know how many people feel about this, but I'll be honest, I think a lot of people watch NXT mainly to go watch the women wrestle. I know there's great men that wrestle on NXT. I'm not saying that, but Shawn Michaels has created a great combination of great wrestling and, hey, giving something for some fans to look at. We're not going to sit there and act like it's not true. It's a combination of both. He's not stupid. Ain't no guys are going to go and see, hey, there's these beautiful, attractive women that can throw down in the ring. And so if you're a wrestling fan and you're a true wrestling fan, you know how to separate the two.
Yeah.
That's what he's able to do. And so people are like, man, she is beautiful. But, man, on top of that, her finishing move is blah, 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 blah. That's what Shawn Michaels has done right now. That's why this women's division is hot. That's why if you're sad that Lash Legend is not getting the opportunities that you think she should get, they coming. You just got to be patient. But we're in the social media world. I'm sorry. But you know how it is. I'm just saying.
Heartbreak Prince, what you think, man?
Again, well, y'all, we talked about this before, because again, when it came back, when it went from that 6 woman challenge, and we all know I was pulling for Lash. I wanted, her to walk out with a belt. Trick Willie didn't have his belt, and they had this thing going on, this chemistry, this whole I don't know, story, with them two, but it didn't work out that way. And I think now, I have to give credit to y'all. When we talked about this, we talked about the chase. And so, whether it be this tag team thing, whether it be singles, I do believe Lash will get hers. Her talent is very obvious. Her cameras on screen time, each and every week is there. And, people are seeing it. People, at the end of the day, people love Lash. And so I'm ready for the chase. I'm ready to see what Shawn does with her, as far as, is he going to, do the chase for between her and Kamani Jordan, or, is it going to be this tag team thing? Whatever he decides to do, I'm here for it, because, as we said, Shawn's been cooking, and what he's been cooking has been A1. So I mean, hey, chef's kiss, all together, just in a bow right there.
I feel that. And then also, too, I want to piggyback off of what you guys were saying, too, because we talk about Kalani Jordan. Even right now, they are starting, it seems like they are starting a storyline with Tatum Paxley, which in ways it makes sense as to what's going on, because then it's her and Wendy Chu. Because Wendy Chu did this whole thing, and I kind of like what she's doing. It's like she went from being all happy and nice, and now she's showing nightmares. Yeah, she's about to scare you. She's not playing. And I like what they're doing with her and Tatum Paxley right now. But it's looking like they're like, see, and again, they're forming. It's like they're making that a tag team. So it's like, okay, we got that as a tag team. So what are we gonna do? Are they gonna be like a thing together where we have maybe Tatum Paxley go for that NXT North American Women's Champion, which would make sense, because she was, when they first presented the belt, and of course, Sexy Red was there. She was sitting there playing tug of war.
That's sexy.
Sexy
Red. That's Sexy Red right there.
That's Sexy Red.
That's Sexy Red right there.
And we haven't seen her since then. But then lately, we've been seeing her kind of pop up. So I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with that. But again, like I've been saying, if you're gonna make all these tag teams, bring the belts back.
Yeah.
So you can have some tag teams. You got an extra match on the card. You know what I'm saying? Who wouldn't want to see women's tag team wrestling? I mean, even on Heat Wave. I wanted to talk about this before too. Even when Heat Wave, my girl Ariana Grace killed it, and is killing it now. I mean, I never would have thought a beauty pageant like queen would have ever been like something that people would have wanted to see, but she is killing that. She is killing it, and she's hilarious. And I didn't think she was going to be that great in the ring, but I mean, again, on Heat Wave, just like we've been saying, Sean is definitely developing a strong women's division. I mean, to where it's like even the ones that are up and coming, I'm like, oh, you ain't gonna do much. I mean, I don't even know the girl's name. But she literally she German suplex a grown man. Like, I'm like, oh, this is crazy. I gotta find her name so we can give her some shout out. But yeah, I mean, again, cooking up. But I mean, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about cooking up. We gotta believe. And if you don't believe, how would you even know if he's gonna appear? So the real question is, do you believe in Joe Hendry? That's the biggest question right now. Do you believe in Joe Hendry? Look, man, this man has been going insane on NXT Heat Wave because we already talked about it. This man popped up the last, 5 seconds of the pay-per-view? You just see the last picture of his face.
Yeah.
And then it continues. And then all of a sudden, what happens? He's good old Trick Willie's tag team partner. People go crazy. We've seen at the American Bash, this man just performed a song. Okay? He just performed a song. Look, there's only a couple people I would actually listen to do a song. That's Elias, The Rock, and now Joe Hendry. Okay? That man is in my top 3. For that,
I believe.
Specifically.
I believe.
I mean, he's doing great stuff. The question is really, though, do we see him as a mid-card guy, or do we see him at that high card, like that top card of a guy? It's like I'm not talking about gimmicks, but where do you guys see him at? Elwood, Heartbreak Prince. We're gonna start off with you, my man. What you got?
I think that's a good question. I believe. So I think you could slot Joe in mid-card, or you can have him at the top, top tier and actually carrying a company or whatever. The more and more I see him, on television, the more and more I have an appreciation, not only just for his character, but I think he's a talent. He's got talent in the ring. He's good on the mic. I think he's got the fans. I think he has the package. He just needs to push. Now, I feel like if you're going to put him though in that upper echelon, you really got to put him with the right person, give him the right match or matches, and I think you have something there. I think he's above what I would just consider just a mid-tier wrestler. I think I think he could do it, and I think it's just a matter of what type of story are you telling with him, how the story's told, and how he goes about it. But I think he can do it. I believe so.
That's a good take. That's exclusive.
Yeah.
What you say?
Hey, bro, you already know how I feel about Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
Hey,
say his name.
Say it, and thou shall appear. Look, I've been on the Joe Hendry train for almost a year now. Yeah. I've been on the Joe Hendry train for a year now. I accidentally fell upon Joe Hendry on TikTok one day, and I was listening. I said, "That song clever." It was catchy. Then I saw all of the videos and how he treated Matt Cardona and how he did Elias and how he did Fandango, and he just treating people bad. I mean, Edge's BICT, the rest. He did all of that, but he made it entertaining. And a lot of people say, "Oh, you stole Elias' gimmick." No, it's got some similarities, but Elias had that. He was over. He wasn't this over. Yeah. This is a different level of over right here.
Yeah.
And Eric, you made a really good point. Like, you're saying, like, do you think he can go mid? Is he mid-level? Is he high tier? I think he's high mid-level.
Yeah.
And low
main
level. at right now. That's right now. I think he could get higher. I think that if you made him NXT champion or something like that, perfect. Yeah, you could see that. He's definitely ready. I don't know if say ready, but he could be a mid-card champion in the next level, and I can see that right off the bat.
Yeah.
World champion, that could take some work.
Take some time.
It could take some time. You know, sometimes fans get fickle, they get tired of wrestlers. Oh, they get they get tired of. We lost Eric for a second, but he's back.
Say his name. Say his name.
Say his name. He
appears.
I believe in Eric Guy. Yeah. So when you see Hendry, I think that he's at that level right now. But the thing is, you were saying like, who could it be that person, or maybe that person that he can fight? There's two people that come to mind right off the bat that I think that if they put him in stories with him, it'll take him higher.
I know who you're gonna say.
One, I want to say LA Knight, because a lot of people have already want to see that. That makes sense. They both can talk. LA Knight, you shut up, but the one that I really think could take him over, sexiest last name in wrestling, Kevin Owens. Because look, you saw how he treated Elias. He got irritated by it. I could see him getting irritated by Joe Hendry. I could see him, you already know Kevin Owens is one of the best wrestlers in the world, hands down. You can make Kevin Owens is the perfect example that you can put him at tag title champion, you can put him at tag champion, you can put him at mid-card champion, you can put him at world champion. Yeah. Every single piece of it is believable. Yeah. And you're not going to feel like, oh man, I'm being jaded. No, it's believable. He is the one that I feel like if they moved him to the main roster, he would be the one that I think could help him make that leap into the main roster. Yeah. I really do. I mean, we've seen, like I said, we saw how he treated Elias, the guitar, and how angry and aggravated he gets, but he's so good on the mic. So that'd be two great people on the mic, and including a guy who can really get down in the ring, and Kevin Owens. So if they make that leap, he's the guy that I think that he should go up against to start things.
I thought you were gonna talk about All Ego, but never mind. That's what I thought you were gonna say.
No. I mean, on the NXT level, yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, I think that's gonna happen at some point. I mean, I feel like the relationship with TNA has been really working well. I feel like NXT still needs to send some of their big guns to TNA. They haven't done that quite yet. They've sent a couple people, but they haven't sent the big guns. We're still waiting for some of the big guns to go over there. So once they do that, I think this partnership, the potential pay-per-view down the road, that's when it takes it to another level. Yeah. But because right now they've sent TNA sent probably their biggest gun. Their two biggest gun on the men's front and the women's front over there. Yeah. So they still have to make that happen. But and then the NXT level, yes. But on that upper level, got to be KO. Yeah. I feel like KO's the man for that.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good take. I didn't think about Kevin Owens, but I think that will definitely be something for sure. I'll definitely get him to the next level. Well, shoot, we talking about next level. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw, baby. Monday Night Raw, man. What can I say? I mean, 3 hours of heat, 3 hours of fire, 3 hours of greatness that we've been seeing nonstop. Now, first things first, we know that we got some of the best storylines going on right now. I mean, we're going to talk about it. Let's talk about the one that's been going insane right now. We can talk about it. Let's get real personal. Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. What? This has been going on for so long. I mean, who would have thought this is a storyline that started since the Royal Rumble? Okay, you want to talk about storylines? You want to talk about getting this to the next level? Yeah, these two are doing it right now. Who would have thought? The monkey wrench. CM Punk gets injured in the Royal Rumble. Now it's Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. Oh, I forgot. Drew McIntyre won the title. For how long? Who cares? Because Damian Priest cashed it in, okay? And then what happened? We seen gold because CM Punk screwed Drew McIntyre how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5, okay? I'm not talking about Kendrick or Not Like Us. but it's just like that. Okay, this man has been constantly getting screwed. Okay,
Wah.
Come on, man.
Wow.
I'm gonna do my stuff. Look, look. This whole feud right now has gotten so good. It's gotten so personal. I mean, it's to the point now. We've seen Drew McIntyre with the little bracelet. Little bracelet got personal. Got in his face. He said, "Oh, did you remember this? Yeah. This is all you." And look at CM Punk. He's pissed off. He said, "Look, I know this thing might only be worth $5 to you." He said, "But this is my wife and my dog on that. That's his wife and his dog. That's his family." Okay.
That's John Wick, baby.
That's John Wick. You kill that dog, what's gonna happen? He's gonna burn the world down.
Yeah.
Okay. And Drew McIntyre is the one looking at him in the face. Look, I get it. But Drew, look, you've been screwed in your hometown. You got screwed at Money in the Bank. You got screwed at WrestleMania. You're just getting screwed.
You hate to see it.
But I can't lie. This is probably one of my favorite storylines right now. I mean, even to the point where Drew McIntyre is taking pictures with Jack Perry, talking about Prime Me a
brilliant.
That is
brilliant.
Yeah.
Trolling GOAT. This man is the social media GOAT. You can't do any better. The man got 41,000 likes and then deleted it.
He's got a slammy. He's got a slammy for this.
Come on now. We know what you about. Now look, Drew, this is classic, great storytelling. I mean, even to bring up the whole Jack Perry, this is like really connecting the dots. Like, bro, I'm telling you right now, everywhere you go, you're a cancer. And this, with that picture, was a perfect example saying, look, there's somebody else that said you were a cancer. And I ain't talking zodiac sign. Mr. Xclusive, what are you thinking, man? What you got?
Hey, look, it has been quite the storyline. So if you go back, let's go to the origins, like right at the beginning of the, from all the way back to Survivor Series last year. The facial, it's November. So now we're looking at we're about 9 months into this, 9 strong months. And this feud has been going strong. And that's not even the element of Seth Rollins also being a part of this. So like, it's just, when it happened back then, you saw how angry Drew and how angry Seth were in that ring when they were there. Now, Drew kind of initially was like, well, why is Drew so mad? I didn't know why Seth, I understood. I heard for years, Seth Rollins said, man, this guy. That had been going on for years, but Drew kind of surprised me. So as we get closer to the Royal Rumble, and then the animosity, that was built up, and I'm like, we all thought that, man, this is a disaster. CM Punk gets hurt at the Royal Rumble. We're not going to get what we wanted, but it worked out for the best because now we've gotten almost 9 months of great storytelling. And I don't want to call Seth Rollins a side chick in this because technically he was the main chick first. He was the main chick in this rivalry first. And then all of a sudden he's become like a little side chick in this bad boy. And so now he's there in the middle of it. Stipulation is out of control. I'll decide what it is when I want to. What type of refereeing is that going to be? But what that do as a wrestling fan, it leaves you intrigued. Yeah. Now is this match going to be? Like, I can tell you right now, if you said Darrell, and I know we'll get to this, but you're like, who you got in this match? I have no clue.
Yeah.
That's how good the storyline is. It could go either way, and I would not be surprised one bit. And there's no inkling of, this person has definitely got it. None of that. That's why it's one of the best storylines in the game today, is because you just don't know. And there's so many elements. You got championship aspirations. I hate you. You stole something from my wife and my dog. And there's so much into it. CM Punk calls, I think he said to Seth Rollins a couple weeks ago about his daughter. Don't you speak about my daughter. I mean, they make it personal. And it's just been great the whole time. I almost don't want to see it, potentially in, which I don't think it is, but it could potentially in at SummerSlam or the final draw. No, this is probably going to last to the next WrestleMania. And it's going to probably be good all the way. So I'm all down for it. But I agree with you, Eric. One of the best storylines in the game right now.
What you got, Heartbreak Prince? What you got, man?
I think it's been said. It's a good storyline. They've been doing a good job. We've been going back and forth about how this is going to pay off and all of that kind of stuff. Is Drew finally going to get his payoff for, I mean, being screwed match after match after match by CM Punk? And I'm here for it. I'm enjoying it. I'm really interested in how this is going to play out. I have my suspicion. But yeah, I mean, it's been good. I can't, there's not much more I can say about it. I mean, it's really been good. And it's one of these things that's blurring the line between, like you said, personal, is this a work? All that type of stuff. And it's just hard to tell because they've really been selling it. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, I'm gonna before we go to the next topic, I mean, even when Drew McIntyre was saying, to CM Punk, I prayed for this moment. Oh my God, I wish they made
shirts.
That shirt.
Yes.
Oh my God, when he was saying, I prayed for this moment, and then when he was pulling up on people saying, I'll be praying for you, I said, nah, this is good. You telling me I'm praying for you just to get injured is insane. The man is diabolical.
Yeah.
But I love it. You gotta love it.
Told this man he's gonna make his heart. He said, I'm not gonna stop till your heart stop beating. This man said, I'm not gonna stop till you dead. That's crazy work.
That's insane, bro. That's insane. But I love what they're doing though. It's personal and it feels personal.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like you guys saying, I don't really know who's gonna win it. Part of me is like Punk might, but then the part's like Drew might. Then I'm like, well, maybe neither one of them. And they, draw this out. But I mean, if we're gonna talk about another storyline that's been drawn out, gotta talk about this one, boy. Liv and Rhea. Look at this. This girl is pissed. Okay, look at this shot. Look at Dom. He's so happy.
He broke her heart, man.
And you know what's crazy? You look at this face of Dominic right there. You gotta look at it. I commend WWE for this, for just getting this shot as a whole. Because we look at Dominic. This is before Judgment Day. This is before Rhea put his whole neck between her legs. This is before.
Yikes.
This is before Liv did what she did. Okay, that was a pure looking dirty Dom. That's a pure Dom. This man has changed drastically. And you know what else? You gotta love what they're doing with this with Liv Morgan. Okay, everybody can probably say at a point in time it was stale for her. And I'm not gonna lie, it was. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I don't even think I even told y'all, but since we're doing this in the first episode, I got a little confession.
Okay.
So around 2022, SmackDown came to Greenville, South Carolina. Now at this time, Liv Morgan was the SmackDown Women's Champion. Now, Kayla Braxton was interviewing her. And Liv was saying how she just can't wait to be a champion. I'm sorry, Liv, I love you. But I was the first one that booed. And then the rest of the crowd followed up with me. Because we couldn't take
the first one to boo.
We couldn't take it. I couldn't take it. I said,
he was the one.
See, later down the line, we're going to find out a lot because I know. Look, I'm going to tell you something. There's a couple shows I've been to. I booed first just to see. But Liv was my first one down here. And I said, boo. And then everybody else. Now, honestly, in my opinion, I gave you an opportunity to turn heel right then and there, but you missed. So now you want to listen to missed opportunities. But, I mean, we're going to talk about it right now. I think this is perfect. We got to look at this storyline. This whole storyline with Liv and Rhea, this is a solid 2 years. I mean, she's over here going in, breaking up the whole clubhouse for the Judgment Day, burning stuff. Look, my man Carlito done had the whole PlayStation 5 slam.
Not cool.
Gone. Done. You know you can't get that memory back unless you got the online storage. I mean, we being honest, that's the only way you're going to get that back. But, I mean, my man's hurt. Look at him. He's hurt. He's hurt. Dominic is confused. JD, he just don't even know. I mean, this man, I mean, he's an amazing wrestler. I mean, come on, it's JD McFish. We don't know what else we're going to call him. I mean, honestly. And then Rhea just, she's like, I know she's not serious. I know this ain't for real. But honestly, I'm not going to lie. This storyline has gotten so good. It has gotten so good. And the little pieces, like I think when them adding Dominic Mysterio into the mix, and then You got Liv in here now with Liv and Dom. It makes it a even. Hey, I mean, before we were talking about this feud that started from just Liv accidentally, as a freak accident, injuring Rhea, and then it just became this huge concoction of lightning in a bottle of a story that we are seeing right now. We are seeing this bitter revenge tour that Liv is on. I mean, Dom goes on last week, says, I hate you, I can't stand you. Liv comes back, says, I'm going to burn all this stuff. I mean, pretty much you might as well call Lisa Left Eye. I mean, I've never seen anybody just ready to
I
burn
don't
stuff
want
up.
no scrubs.
Come on,
Lisa can't get
no love from me.
I mean, at that point, looking at that segment, I said, oh, man, I might as well be looking at an episode of Snatch. Because she's about to go off. Okay. Look, man, I can't lie. This is such a great storyline. And I think, do I want to see Liv win? Yes. Do I want to see Rhea win? Yes. Does it matter who really wins? No. Because I do feel like either way,
we all win.
You know what I'm saying? Regardless if you give the title back to Rhea or you keep the belt on Liv, I think this storyline still continues and it still goes far. Mr. Exclusive, what do you think?
I think you're 100%. You're right. You're on the right path here, sir. I think that with this rivalry, and it's another great job by looking at a past situation and using that to push what we have now. We are the former tag team champions. You know, people got to remember Rhea started this.
Yes.
Rhea started this. This people are giving Liv the dirty eye, and I'm like, Rhea started this. She injured Liv. Liv's mad because I need to go back and get this. I have to come back and get this revenge.
The funny thing is too, and I'm gonna piggyback off of this.
Yeah.
Rhea did that to Liv to join the Judgment Day, and I think that's what's even crazier.
That's the crazy part.
That's what's even crazier.
She did that. So she's the one that got this whole train started. And of course, obviously, mommy is mommy. Everybody loves mommy, but this is if all the things that happen is something because of she decided to join the Judgment Day. And what they've done here, because I think we even talked about it before WrestleMania. We thought that WrestleMania, that was it for the Judgment Day. We thought they were getting broken up. It was the end of the road. We probably shouldn't even be talking about it right now, but they found a way to keep the storyline going. I'd have never thought this would be a 2-year thing.
Yeah.
I never, because most factions, they may last a little long, maybe a year at the, most times, but they're deep in the year 2, and they've been doing well as a faction. Carlito, shout out to Carlito, because Carlito has been a masterpiece, and each scene that he's in, oh, that's not cool. Whatever it is, it's just Carlito was one of my favorite wrestlers when he was there the first time. So shout out to Carlito. I spit on the face of those who do not want to be
crazy.
Cool.
Disrespectful.
No Hawk 2 around here. No Hawk 2. Just got to throw that out there. No Hawk 2. But for real though, great storyline. It's being beautifully done, and I agree with Eric. It can go either way on Saturday.
Yeah.
It can go either way on Saturday, and I think we all win. Because if Rhea gets it, obviously Liv's not going to be done. So I'll say this: I think if Liv wins, that's when we see some changes in the Judgment Day. By maybe Dom is turning something in that range. You know what I'm saying? If not, and Rhea wins, it's still not done just yet. Like this is not going away. This is not a one hitter quitter. But just be on the watch out, because I feel like this is going to go long term. We got a couple of more months of this. The storyline's too good. There's no other woman in the Raw roster right now, at least right now, that I can see going for this title, and it makes sense. Becky's not there. God, please no. Please no. But Becky's not there. There's nobody else. Like this, the rivalry's too good right now. So I think Vega's really good, but she's not. She's unfortunately, she's a mid-card champion if they ever make that championship. She's not there yet. So I'm loving the rivalry. It's been gold. I actually look forward to seeing what they're gonna do on Raw each week, because I know Carlito's gonna make me laugh. Say somehow have made Damon Priest. They made Damon Priest a face. Like, and they found a way to make him a face. This is what they wanted, and they found a way to do it, and it's slowly but surely coming around. They just had to find. He's interested now. Yeah, he's still not great on the mic, but he's interested now. So I like what I see there. The the Finn dynamic is the biggest part of all of this.
Yes,
because we
Nobody's
do not know.
watching him enough.
Nobody knows what exactly is going on in that noggin. He just got beat up by Gunther. It was rough, and so that's the real factor that everybody really needs to pay attention to is what Finn Balor is going to do. And I mean, there's a Heartbreak Prince on here that I'm pretty sure might agree with me.
I'm here for it. I'm waiting for it. I think like you said earlier, they've captured lightning in a bottle, and I feel like whoever Triple H or the writing squad or team, whoever saw this, recognized or realized this moment, and decided to drag this out between Liv and Rhea, because this has been going on for a while, and it's been interesting the whole entire time. How you had Dirty Dom and this whole mommy thing, and now you turn around and you juxtapose that with Liv, who's more like Dom's my dad, daddy, and all that type of stuff, and then just the way everything has, because there's a time where I thought for a minute Liv was probably going to make her way into the Judgment Day, especially after she helped them win the tag team titles. But to see how this story is actually playing out, this is storytelling at its finest, where we're literally sitting here, as wrestling fans, as wrestling connoisseurs, and we're talking about, it doesn't matter whether Liv wins, it doesn't matter whether Rhea wins. At the end of the day, we all win. And I don't mind seeing this story continue on for another couple months or whatever, because it has been so good. And so, yeah, I think this is the stuff that we as wrestling fans really enjoy, when you can get stories that you are so in tune with or attached to, that you kind of forget who's the bad guy, who's the good guy,
right?
Who's right, who's wrong. It's just a perfect story, that it's even kind of like you said at the it's starting to benefit Damian Priest, which how I felt about Damian, and I'm kind of seeing the fans start to kind of appreciate him. I don't know if it's too little too late, because we know his match coming up.
Yeah, we know what's coming.
We know what's coming. The ring is coming. I'm here for it. And so but I think this is good. It's great storytelling. I'm really, really, I really, really believe that, hey, the writer or Triple H, whoever, give them a raise. Whoever caught this and said we could run with this, hey, they deserve a raise. This has been great. Last week, I hate you. When he told Liv that, I said, oh no, you broke this lady's heart.
It broke my heart. Why did it break my heart?
Right here,
I was sitting there like,
I know.
Oh man, why you do that, Dom?
Yeah. I said, dirty Dom.
She obviously was ready to submit to you, my guy. Come on.
She's been ready. I think what's crazy though too. I'm gonna let you go back. That's my fault. But
no, you good. You
good. I think what's crazy too, because when he said that to her, and they had the shot on her, I was like, is she gonna smile? I said maybe she might do a little sick smile at the end.
Yeah,
but she did, and I said, okay, this is genuine. So she's genuinely hurt.
Yeah.
Because at first I thought, okay, maybe this is just part of the plan that Liv's been doing on this revenge tour.
Yeah.
But I was like, nah, she's hurt.
Well, it was brilliant, because a couple of weeks ago, same shot, same situation. She walks away. She knows she's caused some chaos. She's smiling. She's giggling. So you're right. You're 100% right, Eric. I sat there just waiting for her to because I was like, oh, she's definitely going to chuckle here. No.
Yeah.
She kept walking. I said, uh-oh.
Yeah.
She cares about Dirty Dom.
Yeah. He
luckiest man on the planet.
He
luckiest man on the planet.
Oh, I know. Dirty Dom. How did we get here?
How do we get in Dom's shoes?
We wouldn't even let him. But they didn't even let him speak. And now
I was just about to say that. I said, you know what? I was just literally about to say that, because I said, wow, every week this man couldn't even breathe without getting booed. And they let him say 6 words.
Yeah.
6, 7,
shocked.
and nobody booed. I was
Shocked.
like,
Yeah.
oh, y'all are listening.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
wow. But hey,
They're
look,
deep, man.
They
So,
are.
you
But
know-
I mean, I love Dominic's work though. He's doing
They
great
eating out
stuff.
the hand right there, boy. They were eating out the hand. It was good.
Yep.
It was good that people forgot. They forgot, and it's sad though. It's sad that he broke her heart like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A little sad.
yeah. It was sad. It was very sad. That's all right. Dom will be all right. You know, either
He'll be
way,
all
he
right.
got real or live. We'll see what happens.
He's
Or
winning.
his wife. I mean,
He's-
the guy's not
he's
losing
winning.
here.
He's winning
He's not
either
losing
way.
in any way,
The guy's
shape,
not
or form.
He's
losing.
He's
winning.
not losing in any way,
Yeah.
shape, or form. Well, shoot. We might as well go ahead and see who really knows their wrestling. All right. Now we back to it. Let's see if y'all know. Let's go. I'll go ahead and refresh the question for you guys. Let's see if y'all remember, if y'all know.
All right.
Shout out to the stat man, gave us this good old question. So, only 2 men have held the WWE and the IWGP Intercontinental belts. Who are those 2 men?
All right. So this is my guesses. You're not gonna tell us until after we both make our guesses, right?
Correct.
Okay, all right. So I'm going with Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles.
Okay. What you got, Elwood?
This is a tough one. I don't know. I was going with Dean Ambrose and the Learning Tree, but I wasn't sure. I think it's Chris, but I wasn't sure. I'm not sure.
Chris Jericho's actually a really good answer to that. But I don't think AJ's won the Intercontinental title, and that's the one that's why I was kind of like, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
All right. Well, I'll give y'all the answer. Elwood was actually correct. With John
Let's
Moxley.
go.
What? Oh no! Oh, what did you use Google?
No, no, sir.
It was. And once he said, I said, yeah, he got it. That's it.
Yeah.
Man. I was like, because I always think, so it's funny because when I first seen the question, I was like, oh, that's Chris Jericho. Because the first one, like when he first got to New Japan, that was like one of the first like belts he won.
Yeah.
And then, John Moxley, I mean, he's John Moxley. The man done won every freaking title in WWE, and then he goes to New Japan, and I mean, come on. Greatest. One of the greatest right now.
Yeah. That's solid. That's
a good one. I like that one.
That was a real good one. The only way I narrowed it down was I had to figure out who's had the WWE title before that's currently in AEW. That's how I figured it out. I was like, Dean and Chris Jericho.
That's it.
You're actually really smart there, Elwood. I don't know why. Well, wait a minute. Isn't AJ Styles the one that won both world championships, and maybe that's why I went AJ Styles? He's never won the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. I don't know. I just feel like I could be wrong on that. We'll talk to Statman about that.
He probably did, but I know for a fact he never won the. Did he win it? Oh my god! No, he didn't. No.
Yeah, the brain crushing. That's
just kind of killing me because I remember in 2020 when him and Daniel Bryan had that crazy great match on SmackDown. But he did win that. If I remember correctly, AJ Styles definitely won that match. But that's kind of crazy. But I don't think he. Yeah, it's all good.
I don't think he was. I don't think he was Intercontinental champion. I knew he was U.S. champion, but I knew he wasn't Intercontinental champion. I don't understand. And that's all right. Though. I'll take it. I got half of it right. I got half of it right. So
he did 1 for 2. It's all right.
I'm straight up tell you it was a lucky guess. I didn't know.
Hey, sometimes that's what it takes.
Oh man, well look, y'all want to get some of these predictions in because SummerSlam is literally right around the corner.
Yo, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
This is gonna be hot fire. Look, let me tell you something, man. This is gonna be crazy. We got a couple of matches going on. First match that we know for a fact. Logan Paul versus LA Knight. Who y'all got?
Yeah.
So it's funny. I'm going to say yeah. But part of me wants to say Logan, but I'm going with LA Knight. He's got to go.
Man, I hope Logan. All I can say is I hope he don't win. That's it. I go LA Knight. Yeah.
What's one of the other matches we got going on? Obviously, Cody versus Solo. I mean,
that's Cody.
We know wrestling has more than one.
More than one. Royal family.
You gotta go with the American Nightmare, man. Just
What else we got on the card? We got Nia Jax going up against Bayley.
I think Nia's gonna get it. I think.
I thought the same thing, and I could be saying that because she's in my group. She's on my group right now.
I think.
I think. I might.
Because she's been putting on some good matches for the last year.
Man. No, she has. But I feel like they're really gonna okie doke her. And it's crazy because we said we weren't gonna do this, but it's one of those things where I think for Nia, if she wins, Tiffany might cash in.
Well, see, my question is, if I know Triple H, does he carry it as a longer story where they're real tight and they keep having little moments where Tiffany act like she's in the Nia's the champ and she's just kind of around. You know what I'm saying? Like she got the briefcase with her and it's and she's looking over her shoulder every 5 minutes. Maybe if we get lucky, we get that. But there's something that tells me Nia wins it, like you said, and then they take it away from her. But if they're smart, they could go longer with it. They've been kind of building that up, though.
They've been kind of, and I've been thinking about that. Yeah,
you don't know, but I'm going with Nia, though.
I'm just gonna stay with Nia.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Nia on that one too. Obviously, we already talked about it. Rhea versus Liv.
This is hard. This is hard.
Yeah.
What?
Certified. Wait a minute. Wrong show. I don't know, man. Like, hold on. I got a coin here. Hold on.
This is tough.
I'll tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna pick Liv.
I'm thinking Liv
because
too.
of what y'all were talking about earlier, where I think if she wins, it does increase that storyline, and we might see the Judgment Day kind of have some trickles. I think I'm going with Liv on that one.
Yeah, I want to go Liv too, and Dom's going to cost it. You know,
I was thinking,
it only makes sense to keep the storyline going.
And he might be the one to turn because
I was thinking
turn on Rhea.
Yeah,
I was thinking Dom would be the one to cost it, but now when we talked about, we still have yet to see the payoff with with Finn Balor. From the stuff that he's been doing that's been kind of sneaky as of late, and I don't know. Maybe he's the one, but I mean, I know he doesn't have I don't know. I just,
it's tough.
I feel like Liv is going to keep it, but I'm trying to figure out who's going to be the one to cost him.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good.
Does Dom mean what he said, and now it's going to be Finn that's going to do something, or what?
It's hard.
I think that's a good take though, because that's a good take though, because Finn has said to Dom, hey, you know what you got to do. Now, of course, that happened a little bit before he told Liv, I hate you.
Yeah.
But I do think in the cracks, he was saying, you know what you got to do. You have to drop mommy, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get with Liv.
Yeah.
Because we talked about it. I'm telling you.
Liv helped you win a belt.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
So
when Liv was there, she got y'all gold.
Yeah.
Well,
if not there, y'all had no gold.
The other part of this is that if you look at the Judgment Day right now, two members of the Judgment Day are easily faces, and that's Damian right now and Rhea.
Yeah.
And Finn's not quite. I mean, everybody loves Finn, but he's like kind of right down the middle. Carlito's just, he's the comedian right now, but he's obviously not a good guy. He's a heel, and Dominique obviously is the heel of heels, right? They just hate this guy. So that's why I said, like, I feel like it could be where they're pushing the good guys out, the heel faces out, and then they keep and go that way. But that would extend the Judgment Day, and it would be now, we've all know that Damian and Rhea are like sister and brother. They've always kind of had that sister brother relationship, and if they get pushed out, I mean, I don't know, but I got Liv. But wild card, why not? Tiffy time? Go in there and take the titles.
Yeah,
right. And everybody, look, in everybody's misery, shock everybody. Yeah. She comes in, she cashes in, and we all like, what did we just see?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Now, if that happens, just remember I said it.
Oh man. Man. Who else we got on the card that's going crazy right now? Shoot.
Had to pull out the pen.
I'm trying to think, like, because I know we got Nia, we got Rhea and Liv, we got LA Knight and Logan Paul.
Sammy
Sammy Braun Breaker. Yeah, I'm going with Braun.
I'm going with Braun this time too. Yeah, it's
100%,
time. It's time.
He getting that title now.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna go with the Young Buck. I think they're gonna let him be like, all right, this is your time.
Yeah.
We obviously see you get a lot of traction. We obviously, like, again, I've never seen people go as crazy over a spear. Even as we talk about the GOAT Roman Reigns, I mean, people ain't even going that crazy for his spear.
Right.
But to see Braun Breaker out here running 23 miles per hour, hit a spear is insane.
Yeah. Unless the Red Dragon interferes. Which could happen. He could be still a little mad. I got Braun. I got Braun. Is the women's tag team titles on the line?
I believe so. It's 9 times out of 10. I hate to say it, but they're probably gonna put them on the pre-show.
Yeah.
And that's what they do all the time. I hate to say it. They started putting them on the pre-show, and this is the same thing that I remember Sasha Banks and Naomi was talking about.
Yeah.
That this was the
they got to do better. They got to do better with those titles.
And I mean, and this is what they were saying. Like, this was the problem with those tag titles, where, like, you know, there's not enough track. There's no real value to it. And a lot of times, I get it. I get what they need. And I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if you think about it, we've had multiple women tag teams, and there's been 3 black women, and I think that's great. But it's sad to say that all 3 of those tag team reigns have been like, and then, you know, even if Lash and Miss Jackson would have won that, I'd have been like, wow, well, we just traded in one black tag team for another.
Just go ahead and slide it on in there.
Like, just throw them in. But I think I like what they're doing. But I think with Jade and Bianca, I think you definitely, if you're gonna put them in, don't keep putting them in that pre-show.
Yeah,
you know, those are 2, especially Bianca. That I mean, come on, this is like Bianca is WrestleMania caliber.
Yeah.
So you gotta do it, and I get it. Like, her and Jade, they're doing great. I love Jade Cargill. I love what she's doing too. But you can't keep putting them in that pre-show. It's low-key very disrespectful.
It really is
very disrespectful to put them in there.
And it's not on the main card. So there's not on the main card. The only other main card match we didn't talk about was CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. I don't know how we forget that one. But I don't know how I did. But we got everything else. That's the only one we missed. So
I mean, okay, my bad. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I got Drew winning this one. Oh, thanks to Seth. I think Seth is gonna play a role where his hate for CM Punk is gonna help Drew McIntyre. I think he's gonna do something to kind of help Drew McIntyre win the match.
I can see that. That'd be very heelish, and that would be a big turn for him, because you know, he's very over.
Yeah, but he's been over for like the last 3-4 years now. So it's probably about time for him to kind of, he's just coming back, you know, from his little time off, or, you know, it's what perfect time then to start something like that, or to turn him heel than in this opportunity right here. Because, you know, the crowd all want CM Punk to win.
True.
They all do.
And that's the thing, I think.
And nobody's going to expect him to do this.
Yeah. That'd be a big shot. Yeah, you know what? Let me tell you something. If this happens, just know we called all of this. We called all of this first.
I
mean, I could be dead wrong, but I don't know.
I don't know. Look, so if Drew wins, depending on how he wins, how does the storyline? I think the storyline can't continue, like, not the way you want. I mean, they probably will find a way, but I don't think it can continue the way you want. I feel like that. Well, maybe not Drew. Punk don't need. Well, I don't know. I guess either way. But it doesn't make a difference because Seth Rollins is winning this match.
Yeah.
He's the referee. He's already said. Y'all have to remember. He already said he's pretty much making it up on the fly.
On the fly.
Yeah. So what's going to happen is They're both going to be laid out in the ring.
Yep.
This mother is going to say triple threat match. He going to curve stomp both of them suckers, and he going to pin them, and that man going to walk out, and here comes Adam Pearce. Here comes Adam Pearce. What are you doing? You know, Adam, God bless Adam Pearce soul, because that's my dude.
Yeah, man, always saying, I need a drink.
He ain't got no control over Raw. He just out here he out here running for his life every week. Nick Aldis is like, hello. But he out here running for his life every week. Seth Rollins winning that match. Yeah, I call it right now. Seth Rollins,
he's gonna be a factor somehow. Yeah, he's gonna be a major factor. Yeah,
I can see that.
Then they both be pissed at Seth on Monday. Seth wins it in some crazy fashion.
I feel that. I can see that. That's a good take. That's a good, because I couldn't even come. I was like, well, if somebody win, I'm thinking maybe Drew. But I mean, I kind of like this fact that y'all said was Seth. I'm not gonna go against this because I think that could be definitely a huge turning point for sure. Well, look, this again was a great discussion. I can't be mad. I know y'all ain't mad about this. I mean, look, all we talk about is just greatness out here, baby. Come on, it's the legacy. Okay, look, man. As always, we're your guys, Heartbreak Prince, Mr. Exclusive, and the one and only Eric Knight, the Exclusive Knights. And again, we'll be back next week. So look, we thank you guys again. And again, I know I've said again 1,000 times. I'm going to say it again.
And again. And again. Yes.
Banger.
Thank you guys. Banger after banger. So again, we thank you guys for watching. And as always, thank you for watching the Exclusive Knights podcast, where the Knights will never
be
the same.